All right, and welcome. It is time for Valika as we go through our fun today. Last we left off, our crew was at the wreck of the Blade Blessed as they had been attempting to find some Laneshi and things to help jog the memory of Asa, who's with them and trying to do her very best with her little powers to help the more heroic hairsayers. As they approached, they found themselves asked politely to leave, in which they said no. Thus, chaos and combat ensued as everything went to heck, as they've been hypnotizing and other things the best that they can in order to try to explore the wreck and understand what happened and possibly even re-jog the memory of our poor Asa. So as we enter into all of that, we come upon our fun. So let's get to the map. All right, so for purposes of this, I'm going to remain in our initiative here. So that everyone see, does that look about right for Hist?
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Then, as things are calmed and you've knocked out just about the last one, the others put out into a hypnotic pattern of sorts, one might say. You see the water stir more as another of these humanoid elemental folk and two Laneshi come up from the hull of the ship, gathered by the noise and combat you are all making up top. Thusly, we got stuff. So they come up out of the water. Hist, you go first.
All right. Oh yeah. Okay. I am going to. It's my favorite spell. I'm going to cast Mouse Minute Meteors. Sorry.
Perfect.
Try to say that 5 times fast.
No. I'm guessing we've gotten a long rest since I was last here.
You have.
Cool. And then I use my bonus action to fire to it, the one closest to me, the blonde one. I think that's blonde. White hair?
Yeah. That guy.
All right. Is that the Panjan or is that a...
That is a Panjan.
Perfect.
Can't you see his little water thing coming up? That sounded wrong.
2 Dex 15 saving throws.
You got it. Let's go. They will both fail.
12 fire damage.
Nice. They are resistant to the fire.
Damn, that's like all of my things. Okay, that's it.
Very good. All right, then seeing you so politely doing this to them, they will. Let's see what they can do against. All right, so yeah, looking over at you, they raise their hand as the waters begin to rise and try to slam you against various things here, Hist. So, first one here is going to be a 15 to hit.
That'll miss.
Nice. And then only an 8, you're able to avoid the waters.
Aha.
Leslie. Got our 2 Laneshi ready to do their thing. Get quickly. Okay, so. All right, our department swimming through the waters. They're looking to get to some targets. They got 30 feet.
But one on Tiny. And one on Bjorn.
All right. So one tiny, I believe, starts with a con save.
All right. Is it?
No, it's your con save on them.
They have to make a con save for attacking you.
Oh, that's if I have my reaction. I think I do. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Very cool. 19.
Yep, that passes.
All right. So, Leslie coming on in. Okay, so first attack here is going to be a 16.
Miss.
Very good. Oh, and then lower. So the best they can. It does not work. And that's all they can do. How much movement did they use to get to shiny?
Shiny.
I mean tiny. Wow.
Alright, guys, after this combat, I'm sorry, but I have to get him coffee. Alright.
Don't even look like it now.
510.
They used attention. They have 20 left.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then they'll take the disengage and go to get cover the best they can to be out of sight. And then we have the one. It went to Bjorg Kurgana. Bjorg, here we go. And that is a 23 to hit
That'll hit.
and a 16.
That'll hit.
Okay. Pike. So the first pike comes through for 12 piercing damage. And the second one goes in your chest for 10 piercing damage. And then they want to do the same trick there, art department.
They use 5, 10, 20, 25, 30.
All right, now let me quickly fix initiative. So we're on Bjorg.
Was it only Laneshi that showed up again, or are there any more elementals?
One elemental right in front of what's his face? Right in front of you, actually, too.
Well, aside from the ones that I've already captured, there's another one there.
Another showed up. So what popped out of the water were 2 Laneshi soldiers and one of these Pengians.
Okay. Then I will turn and speak to him again. Say, we really did not come here to fight you. We just wanted to talk. You can see we have some unharmed, well, mostly unharmed ones here. We really just want to ask you some questions for our friend.
Anything else?
No, I'm not gonna attack. I want him to understand.
Okay. So let's give. Yeah, go ahead, do a persuasion check.
15.
15. I think by that, you'll indeed get a reaction here as they look as it goes, so sorry, our orders are to kill all trespassers. Leave, and we won't pursue. But while you're here, you're just fish.
I understand your orders. My friend is a Laneshi who can't remember anything beyond being found. We were trying to help her gain her memories back. Thus, we came here.
A Laneshi without memory is no Laneshi. So that's about that turn.
Okay.
All right, and so we've got 2 in hypnotic pattern, I believe.
Yeah, they're just chilling in the back still. Should I put them back on?
Well, yeah, they would be on.
Were they a little Nashi or the other?
It was 1 Laneshi and 2 of the
Elementals.
Genasi people.
Yeah.
2 of these guys.
Excuse me, the legally distinct Genasi people.
Oh, okay.
Vaguely remember that being like 1 there and then 2 were over here.
When people can't use the words because it's not in the basic rules.
Oh,
They should all be together because they were bound.
Oh, you're right. You pushed them all back here and bound them. I
Perfect.
forgot. You pushed them.
Okay, so that's what I thought. So they were.
They're all over there.
So we go back to their turns and we go to Kurgana. Actually, before we do that, please, Griff, give me your initiative roll. And welcome, Molly.
Where you want to be on the board?
I would like to be somewhere up in front, close to people.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's let Griff go ahead and do their move here. Then we'll get to Kurgana. If that's all right. So, Griff, it will be your turn.
Do I understand what is being said?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very simple. They are very much like, you're trespassing, get the heck out of our thing. We're not talking while you are not listening to the whole trespass thing. There's nothing going on except us trying to kill you. So,
Or three are busy hallucinating and tied together.
yeah.
Okay. Well, the one that is not hallucinating and tied together, I am going to attack non-lethally.
Would that be the one in front of you or the 2 hiding?
The one in front of me.
Okay, so that's a candy.
Very cool.
That's a nat 1 on the first one.
Oof.
He's there.
The water comes up.
A 17 on the second one.
17 hits.
For 12 bludgeoning and an additional 8 radiant.
Oh, very nice. That's about 20. Very good. You can see it puts water up to lessen the strength of your blow, taking half of that. Anything else? I'm assuming that's it then. Kurgana.
Oh, the one that was talking, that's on Bjork?
Yes.
Oh. The wonderful thing about orders is that they can be changed. And I'm gonna go ahead and get to flanking with Bjorg if I can. I don't know. I have a swim speed of 40.
Yeah, you're fine.
And
You're
I've-
right here. Whee!
Okay, I've cool. And we'll take 2 strikes at advantage.
Very nice.
18.
18 hits.
For 10 radiant. And 16
That hits.
for 12 radiant. And then I will quicken spell for a booming blade.
Nice.
For 24. And yeah, it just gets it if it moves. For 6.
Very good. They are bloodied.
See?
Very good. That's your turn. We'll go to Tiny Tusk.
Which one is my hunter's mark on?
One of the one that's bound.
Yeah.
In the bound ones, if I hit a bound one, that means they're unbound. Is that how that works?
That
Yes.
means they're no longer
Okay.
hallucinating.
No, they're unbound, but they're not going to be hallucinated.
But they won't hallucinate. Okay. And
So right
there's
now they're
one-
both hallucinating and tied up.
Okay. So I see 2 other ones, right? There's the one in the center, and then there's the one trying to hide.
One right here
Okay.
and one right here. Both
Oh,
of them
2 of
cover.
them. Okay, cool.
Yeah, both are
Um,
out of sight.
I want to try to swim over to that side then. I have full swimming speed of 40. So let me ask you, because I don't know how 2024 works, but does this mean they're no longer hidden if I'm behind them, or does it mean I still shoot at this?
So they weren't hidden anyway.
They were
They
just
weren't
trying to get
hidden.
cover.
They were under full cover, which is
Okay,
different.
okay, fair enough.
So if there's no stealth check, there's no hidden condition.
Gotcha. All right. So in that case, let's go ahead. Bonus action. Move my hunter's mark onto the one in front of me,
You got it.
and I will shoot at that one. I assume I have my crossbow. I don't remember which weapon I was using, but we're gonna go with that. All right. That is a 19 to hit.
All right, that hits.
Okay, so let's see. First of all, that's 11 piercing plus
Yeah.
6 cold damage plus 4 force damage, and they also get knocked back 10 feet from me.
Nice. So move them back 10.
And I'll go ahead and take another shot at them.
Very good. And like before, you do see that cold. They are resistant to cold.
Okay. Second shot is not as good, but a 13.
Oh, they will miss. They were ducking to the water.
All right. So that will be full turn. And I think I will use my remaining movement to give myself some cover behind the ship. We'll get a little close to that ship. So they have to come around if they want to shoot me. There we go. That's my turn.
All right. Very good. We go up to Hist.
All right. Okay. Right. And so, okay.
Yellow
How-
faces, or what you're aiming at.
Yeah, how... And the orange people are the people that are hypnotized, right?
Yep, and tied together.
Okay.
They've been tied up.
Is there a way I can get between the two people on the left?
Do you have a swing speed?
Within 10... Oh, no, I don't. Okay. So... I'm just gonna shoot, as a bonus action, shoot 2 more fireballs to the guy in front of me. I need 2 Dex 15 saving throws.
Okay, that was our Pangian. Very cool. All right, that is a 22 and a 14.
5 fire damage.
All right, up to 2.
And then as my action, 40 feet. I'm just gonna cast Magic Missile at 2nd level, all at the same guy.
Nice.
For 4 damage per missile, so 16.
16. How do you want to kill him?
The missile is just pure, like, cut off different limbs.
I love it. Blood in the water.
There is just a sigh from Corgana.
Hey, in his defense, did you tell him you weren't killing?
Last session we mentioned that we needed to keep some alive for.
Some alive in the back!
This one seemed to know a bit more, but fair enough.
Very good. All right, and we've got the 2 new soldiers here.
Ezekiel, come on.
Here,
out.
here, buddy. There you go. All right. I'm going to find their targets. So they will go ahead, and this one will swim on over to. Well, can they get to Tiny? They got 30.
What's their swim speed?
30.
Yes, but they're not going to be able to hide again.
Okay. Well, I'd like to stay on the side where they're a little bit more hidden.
Oh, okay. I want to. Whatever.
Um,
I like what Art Department did originally.
Love it.
They have an intelligence of 6. Oh wait, they're actual. Yes.
All right, very good. As they come on up here, that's definitely missing.
Don't forget they have to do their little savey save.
Indeed. Well, they missed anyway, so Tiny can save it. And then, all right, and the other one will go ahead and get up to. Is that Hiss there?
This is over here.
Okay, then who's closest there?
York.
Let's go to Bjork.
This
Bjorg.
is 20. Yeah.
For 19,
That'll hit.
and then 17.
That'll hit.
All right. So 2 more pikes. I got 6, and then 7. And they would do their disengage and move to get a little bit of cover.
40. Correct?
They have a total of 30, I believe. And then we go to Griff.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the one that's on Tiny, and if I have enough with my 30 feet, I would like to try to flank with Tiny.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to non-lethally attack again. Because I'm flanking, it's an advantage. That's the whole point. 18 on the first one,
That hits.
and then 22 on the second one.
That hits.
Alright, let's do blink. 10 plus 8 is 18 bludgeoning. Plus 8 radiant.
Nice.
And he's sapped, so any attack he makes before the start of my next turn is at disadvantage.
Very good. Is that it?
That is it.
All right, Bjorg.
Well, since we have the ones at the back, and I really don't want to, I'm gonna have to defend myself. So I'm gonna move to the guy that's hiding back there, or yep, and swing at him with my short sword
Let's go.
for a dirty 20.
That hits.
For 8 points of damage, and using the nicked action, I'm gonna swing at him with the dagger for a 15.
15 will hit.
All right, that is an additional 3 plus some sneak attack here for an additional 21.
They are bloodied.
And then I'm gonna bonus action disengage and move around to the other side where. Yep.
We can play this game too.
That's right. That'll be my turn.
Very nice. All right, and we've got my sleepy sleeps. Kurgana.
Well, Korgana's gonna, seeing the other side handled, gonna swim over to the one by on the other boat with a swim speed of 40.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I get flanking, but that's fine.
No, but
Oh.
that's what she likes. What the?
I agree with.
Someone unmuted. There we go.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at the body floating in the water. New chances to take new orders, and then I'm gonna beat it non-lethally twice.
Nice.
Not that, but 15.
15 hits. This is one that was by Bjorg, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
For 10,
Nice.
and that one will hit. And for 7, non-lethal. And yeah.
All right, they're still up, but looking horrible. And then we go to Tiny.
Okay. So this one right in front of me, I'm going to use my crossbow and take a shot at him. Oh no. That's gonna miss with an 11, I assume.
Yeah.
I
Dips
will
in the
take
water.
another shot.
Remember, it's straight because you've got a flanking.
Now she's using ranged.
Yes.
No,
but-
I have crossbow expert, so it doesn't count as it.
So then it should
I
be
can-
an advantage.
No.
Oh, it is?
You can't get
No.
you can't get flanking with ranged.
Oh.
That's right. That's right.
I'm all confused.
All right. Next attack is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
All right. That'll be 7 piercing, 5 cold, 1 force. And I don't think there's any room to move him back because I think somebody's right behind him.
But how do you want to kill him?
Oh, I just take my crossbow. Somehow I miss at this range.
Well, it's too close. There, we'll just put the water around. Yeah.
And I just pick it up again and I point it right at his head. And there's that moment where the camera just comes into focus of the arrow, the crossbow.
Yeah.
And then pow! And his head just turns into a melon.
And dead.
And I think my bonus action, I am going to just move my Hunter's Mark to the other guy. I'm not planning to use it, but just in case.
Yeah, utilize that
And
economy.
I'll use my movement to get me. You see that little tiny little? Yep, that thing. I want to get behind that, and I'll just stay there.
As you walk away, Griff is gonna be like, Tiny, we need to keep one alive.
In the back.
They have the other one. They have the other one.
Do
His
they count?
Yeah, they're alive. They're just charmed at the moment.
Guess I'm just gonna fire the last 2 meteors at the one guy that's not charmed.
sounds like a plan. So that's deck saves.
Yes.
Let's go.
Who's tight? Who's ever sneezing?
I got 14 and 8.
Awesome. Both fail. Oh wow, that's actually a good amount of damage this time. 16. Still have, but like,
Yeah, with that halved. How do you want to kill him?
yeah, the fireballs just explode them.
Fish fry.
What the fuck, Hist?
Griff,
I-
never mind.
Well, one, I actually did not think that was gonna kill them.
Oh, Matt described him looking not very well.
Asa does look somewhat shaken, but she's the Valican, so a bit, so she does understand. She goes, right, your ferociousness is quite intense.
Asa, we really didn't want to kill them, but they really weren't giving us much choice.
She does not.
Or,
Yes, it-
let me rephrase that. I really didn't want to kill them. I really was trying to find out some information for you, but they weren't giving us much choice.
Is that one dead? Did that one die? Oh. Well,
And you guys say I'm the fucking intense one that wants to kill people. And
I don't
Ugh.
not have the ability to not kill. It's not.
you could not shoot missiles through them when they're looking like they're at the edge of death. Instead, there's an option to abstain. That is a choice.
Dude.
Ew.
That didn't seem to hurt them that much.
all right. It's okay. Well, maybe we
I'll
can
be
still
back.
help
I'm making
them.
coffee.
We'll just try to put them back together.
Well, we have the 3 around there, so
Oh, good.
what?
Which are only going to be dazed for about another 20 seconds.
Yeah, but they're tied up.
I can put down some what do they call it, that thing, that spell, that spike growth, I guess. I could try to grow some spikes around them so they can't move, but
In the water?
We could always just make sure the ropes are secure.
yeah. Let's do that. Maybe one of them will help.
Maybe. All we can do is try.
Tiny lowers his hand. He's about to cast missiles at these things.
Korgana just looks perhaps more pissed than you've perhaps seen Korgana in a while.
Well, I'm not sure where we're supposed to go now. We have these 3.
Okay, so we just gotta talk to them. We gotta separate them and interrogate them or ask them questions.
Well, they're probably going to say the same thing they said before. Leave, or we're going to kill you. Those are our orders.
But if we separate them, we can always pretend like one gave up the information. It's a good negotiation technique.
We're
Yes.
gonna search the bodies.
Well, if we're gonna separate them, then we need to make sure we do it while they're currently incapacitated so we can get them all tied up properly.
I also don't know if it will help, but I know of a spell to try to get truth out of people.
That will help.
Corgana, what are your thoughts?
That you all killed a bunch of fucking people that didn't need to fucking die. And I'm upset.
I tried.
This has been a problem all through summer and continuing into the fall.
Well, if you want to question them, you, like I said, you better make sure they're all tied up properly.
No, I wanted to keep people alive since you all are intent that what are they going to do if they don't answer? We're going to kill them. So you all seem intent on killing people. So you fucking do it for once.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Griff and Hiss because I didn't want to kill them. Thus the reason I tied them up while you had them incapacitated.
My defense, I was trying to hit them non-lethally. Many
Right.
times.
Crossbows don't have a non-lethal option, but I did save one.
In mine, I just don't really share the same values. I had never argued for life.
I'm gonna go check their bonds and see if I can get that spell on them.
Okay. Hist, it wasn't a matter of arguing for life or not for life, or unlife, whatever you want to call it. It was a matter of we wanted to ask them some questions because we're trying to assist Asa, and it doesn't do us any good to assist her if we can't talk to anybody.
Oh yes, no, I messed up on that. I would take full responsibility in the matter of murdering them. I just meant in Corgana's sense that I feel it is not hypocritical for me to have killed when I had never complained about the act of it.
Understood. So next time we come to a situation like this, before we just attack, we should have a brief conversation before we jump out and say, aha, we're here.
Wait, didn't they attack us?
Yes, after I came out, after I tried to talk to them.
So do we call for a battlefield timeout so we can huddle up?
No, but if the understanding is that we're trying to talk to them, we should at least try to hit them non-lethally as Corgana was doing. And Griff. We knew what we were doing when we came here, and that was to find answers. You can't find answers if you kill everybody.
Oh, I agree completely. But I still don't know how to shoot people non-lethally.
You shoot them so that when they're down, that you have a better chance of tying them up.
Yeah, I just feel like the mechanics of the universe don't allow me to do that.
Someone's like, pick up a club, Tiny.
Pick up a dagger, a
I
scimitar.
like daggers. I don't even
Anyway.
have a dagger.
Anyway, we still have 3 of them.
Yep.
How tied up are they?
I literally, they
Yeah.
were all sort of back to back, and I literally just looped the rope around them several times.
And Griff, you said that you just secured their bonds as well, so it is.
Yeah.
You've been able to tighten up the good but quick job. That
And then, quickly in the area, it's a 15-foot circle. Griff's going to draw the circle out, put some runes on like the cardinal directions and cast Zone of Truth.
Sounds like a plan.
I personally don't know how it's how it's gonna affect them with their zoid outness. It does say an affected creature is aware of the spell and can avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie.
Okay, so you do know whether a creature succeeds or fails. So 2 of them
Yes.
failed, 1 succeeded.
All right, then I'm going to probably ask the questions to the 2 that failed, personally. I will note the 2 that failed, that they're the ones that will probably be more truthful. They might also just choose not to talk.
So what do you answer? What do you ask?
What questions were we asking, guys?
Well,
I wasn't here last session. I don't remember.
I guess what we really want to know is if they're missing anybody from when the ship wrecked, or if they know Asa. I would think if they were from the same family, clan, pack, swarm, whatever a group of Laneshi are called, that somebody would recognize her. But, I mean, I could be wrong. So that's what we want to know.
All right. So what I'm going to ask the question.
Do you recognize this Laneshi? I'm sorry, guys. I asked the questions. I literally was not here, so I don't know exactly what we're asking.
Well, I think anyone can ask them. So I just need to actually ask the questions, so you know what they're responding to.
When your ship wrecked here, did you lose anybody?
Kind of laugh a bit. Didn't lose anyone till you came and attacked.
So you don't recognize our friend over here?
I don't know her face.
Is there anybody who might?
They don't answer.
Is there a reason she wouldn't have her memories?
I don't know.
Nothing cultural?
Yeah, they shake their head.
Well, she says she remembers wearing clothing similar to what you have on now. How can you be sure she's not someone you should know?
I didn't say I was sure, I just said I don't know her.
Is there anybody else we can talk to who might have information?
They don't answer.
I'm going to take that as a yes. You just don't want to tell us who it is.
So pick. Which one of you three fuckers wants to die? And then we'll get answers from the other ones.
Give me an intimidation check.
Is it possible for me to aid in this intimidation check by pointing out there is one person in particular who this spell is not affecting?
I like it. Go ahead and give me that advantage.
24.
I gotta look. It's possible Lamora might know. She's below.
Can you call to her?
She won't come. She's busy. You'd have to go down.
Interesting. Corgana? Griff?
What?
Anybody? What are your thoughts? I'm not sure I trust that.
What else is down there?
A whole bunch more of them.
I'm asking them.
You. The rest of our party and rangers of the ship.
Are they under orders to kill anyone who goes down there, like us?
All of us under orders to harvest the food you are.
And what does this person we need to speak to look like?
Very silky gills. Beautiful.
How many more are there of you?
They also look like they're not entirely sure. At least 5 down there.
What would make them leave?
When they finish what they came for.
What they come for?
I don't know.
Well, we don't want to hurt anybody, so if you could help us get them out of there so that we don't have to do that, that would be helpful. So what can we do to persuade them to leave non-violently?
They don't answer.
Would they be? Do you think they are the sort of person that they would value you and your companions' lives in exchange for answering a few questions?
No.
Well, I like you.
Once
Thank
they
you for-
have what they want, if they think people are here, they'll just swim away. Do what they can to get with what they want. We aren't. We are tools, not people.
What do they value?
Whatever they came for.
Which we don't know.
Asa, do you want to remember your memories hearing this?
She looks. I want to know who I was. I mean,
And what if you were some person that was just using people as tools and, willing to sacrifice them for nothing?
then maybe Asa and whoever I was then can have a chat.
What time of day is the least amount of guards out? When's like nightfall, sleeping time, whatever?
They could be gone by then, Tiny, if they find what they're looking for.
They might not be. If we could sneak in and just get to her and get the answers and get out,
Can't gamble that.
it's an option.
I guess to say we're a raiding party. We don't live here. We come in and we leave.
When did you get here?
A few hours ago.
How long does a raid usually take for you?
Less than that. Whatever it is, she must be having trouble.
Okay.
What if we were able to assist?
You can convince her that dogs can help her. That's up to you.
Dogs? I don't see any dogs around here.
He's talking about us, Bjorg.
Oh, I got what he was saying, but I'm letting him know that we are not dogs. Otherwise, I could just call him a fish.
They don't seem overly perturbed by this. They're just kind of...
Bjorg, did I just see you get angry?
Oh, I can on occasions.
Oh, we can't have you following us, so we have some options here. Because if we let you go, it's possible you go down there and you're a problem later for us. We leave you out here tied up, it's possible you can escape and come after us. Or warn her in some way we don't know about. It's also possible that some of the wonderful creatures out here could eat you for fish food. So what are you going to propose so that way you get to go home today?
I'm done talking. And they all seem to be kind of done here.
Hey. So, maybe we get away from them for a minute to discuss these options.
You four figure it out. I'm going to be here, Tiny. And Corgana's just going to stand before them with his grindstone just sharpening his sword.
Nice.
Morgana, you need to be a part of the decision.
Sounds like Kurgana doesn't want to, so I think we can go.
All right.
Is Kurgana saying he's gonna go with whatever is decided?
And that just make sure that they don't do anything in the interim either, because somebody's got to...
Yeah. So you're gonna go there, and then cool.
Yep.
Just don't kill them.
I don't think he's going to.
I don't want to hear it. Corgana,
What?
are you going to kill them?
Depending upon what you decide.
Depending upon what we decide. Fair enough. All right. So I'll go to the group.
You know, we could always just leave him tied up and drag him with us.
I'm a little less worried about them and more worried about how we're going to get to this lady to get answers for Asa.
Use them as a shield.
As a shield.
Are they going to want to kill their own raiding party?
I think so. Based on what they said, it doesn't sound like they value the lives of their own raiding party. It sounds like they treat them sort of like thralls. I
Well,
should know.
But if they're having issues getting what they want, what good does it do for them to kill them?
I don't know. All I know is my gut tells me if we take them down there, they're going to be killed just the same as us. But my feeling is if we're talking about their fate, my preference would be they should be armed and have a chance.
Well, they have arms.
You know what I'm saying, Bjork.
I do. And I don't want them. I don't want them to be shark bait.
I don't either.
So, Hist, Griff, do you have any suggestions?
I think we should knock him out and leave him up here. And then go down.
All right, leave them on a piece of the shipwreck, so they're at least out of the water.
If we don't want them to get in trouble, then we should probably just erase any measures that we caught them. Make it seem like they're just adrift.
Okay, so that on hold for a second. What about Asa? How do we help her?
Well, we've got to talk to that lady to see if she knows anything.
Do we want to sneak in or fight our way in? I'm cool either way. I could try to get us a little bit of magic to make us a little bit more stealthy, but we are talking about going under the water, and that's going to be pretty difficult. So I don't know how the rest of you are with fighting underwater, but it's kind of on you all, because I know that I can do pretty well down there, but not everybody can.
Don't we have those rings of water breathing?
We do. If I understand
No.
correctly.
We
No,
don't have.
not the rings. We have potions, right?
Yeah, your potions of the.
We
I'm
have
sorry.
8
Yeah.
hours of water breathing per the gifts of asphalt.
It's 24.
Right.
Oh, yes.
So we do still have that. And mechanically speaking, in 2024, if we have water breathing, does that undo the effects of
Swimming?
like attacking under?
No,
Isn't
it's
there
swim
a-
speed. That
Swim speed is the only thing that would work there, correct?
yeah, swim speed. Then you ignore. Otherwise, it's
That's-
basically piercing
that's what I
weapons that
thought.
don't have disadvantage.
That's kind of what she's hinting at here, is that she knows it's going to be harder for the people to attack underwater, but not these people we're fighting, because they're clearly aquatic.
So the 3 people in this fight that would be particularly hampered by that are wearing the rings for swim speed, Tiny.
Oh, they are?
Yes, Björn, Griffin, and I are wearing them.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The only thing is, hist, all fire in water is resistance.
Okay.
Good to
And
know.
piercing is, and range attacks are at their minimum range.
Okay, so never mind. So yeah, we have options, and we can either try to sneak in or we can try to fight in. And we don't really have an idea of what's going to be down there. That's a raiding party. They might have come up against something pretty powerful if they're still down there. They said they'd usually be done by now, so something's keeping them down there. So it's possible they're going to be in shorter numbers than they were when they went down. There could be a creature down there for all we know.
Well, at this point, I say leave them tied up, stick them on a piece of wreckage, float them out to sea, and then we sneak in. And I say sneak in so that we can at least maybe see what's going on before we just jump into a fight.
I don't really have a major problem with that. So keep them tied up, put them on the piece of wreckage, kind of drift them off so they have a chance to get out. And hopefully by the time they get out, we'll be done. We could just knock them out, put them on the driftwood, float them off, and maybe by the time they wake up, we'll be done.
We can still knock them out and leave them tied up.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. And then we'll try to sneak. If it doesn't go well, we fight. I've got a spell ready, so.
Everybody good with that?
Sounds good.
Griff.
I said I made an affirming noise, but it must not have picked up.
Fair enough. All right. Guess we'll go back to the prisoners here. Okay. So I'll relay what we've decided, and I guess if there's a large enough thing we can float them off on, we'll kind of prepare that.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to knock out these people, so that's fine.
Cool.
Nothing personal, boys and girls.
I'll knock you out with my crossbow. No. No.
You can
Did you
swing
not?
it like a bat.
Yes. You can wield it as an improvised weapon.
Wielded crossbow? Oh yeah, I guess you could as like a blunt object. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it with a longbow.
With that being said, anything on the bodies of those that were accidentally dismembered, blown up, shot, or killed?
I see. You can give me a investigation check.
Can I assist him with that?
Yeah, you both can make one.
Okay.
Please go, Bjork, because
25.
yeah, no, Bjork is Korgana's gathering, Bjork is searching.
So, I mean, there's spears and such, but you do find several money pouches totaling 340 gold, 109 silver, and 212 copper.
Gold. 340 gold was the silver, Matt?
109.
109. And some erroneous amount of copper.
212, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to iterate it for you all, as it seems needs to be said. Let's not kill Lamora. So
Who are you
that
reiterating for, Korgana?
so that way it's not personal. Everybody.
Well, let me reiterate it for you too, then, Korgana, since it needs to be for everybody.
Sure.
I repeat everything you say directed at you.
I'm a little upset, Tiny. That's all.
I'm a little upset, Korgana. That's all.
That's the game we're going to play today?
All right, so we continue. Sounds like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I need to cast the spell. Hold on. So I go ahead and I'm going to put a pass without trace on all of us. So we can try to sneak it a little bit, but it may not go well.
All right, so trying to move in here, you see that the three mighty masts of the Blade Blessed have fallen inward and collapsed, crushing the belly of the ship into a tangled maze of broken wood and unstable terrain. You'd have to push through this very dangerous area to get further into the ship.
Okay.
All right. So as you do that, it's your choice, based on how your character is navigating this, to give me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh, joy. All right. Ten.
All right, then you may take 10 bludgeoning damage.
I noticed I have temp HP. Am I supposed to remove that? Does anybody know where that 11 temp HP came from?
From Korgana.
Is that gone by now?
No.
Only
Oh.
if you've been hit.
I have not.
I will have done a 9, Matt.
That'd be another 10 of bludgeoning.
I also had 9.
10 bludgeoning.
It will take 10 cold damage.
Ice comes across, so it deals 3 piercing to everyone. I'm kidding.
24.
All right, you successfully make it through. Then Hist. What'd you get for your assist?
Oh, sorry. I don't know why it didn't go through. 15.
15. You would take 10
Wow.
bludgeoning as well.
Roll, but same stat. I don't know why I clicked that.
All right. So this is from squeezing and pieces falling upon you. You made it about a third of the way, so everyone can make that check again.
I don't know if being small gives me any advantage in that.
No, unfortunately not.
22.
12. Oh, wait, plus 10. Don't we get.
No, this
No,
isn't
that's-
stealth.
Oh, right. It's acrobatics. My bad.
22.
10.
Then Griff.
I think I'm gonna do another athletics. 10.
Okay, so that's Hist, Kurgana, and Griff. I'll take the 10 bludgeoning again. Pushing through. And Tiny, be sure to check your concentration for Pass Without Trace.
Oh, shoot. You're right.
On the first one.
All right. Here. All right. I roll a 16.
We'll do it. Then everyone can give me their final acrobatics or athletics, getting the final part of this area done.
19.
16.
16.
17.
Stop copying me, Griff. 16.
All of you make it through without damage. The final, you get the rhythm. You're like, oh, I see how this. Okay. Sharpened pieces are worse than other people. Got it.
Now that we're on the other side, who took damage?
I still have 1 temp HP, so I'm good.
I did.
So it's just Korgana, Hist, and myself.
Oh, well, I took damage prior to that.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter because I'll just do mass healing word. So we all get, gosh darn it, 9.
Can I deflect mine onto someone?
Unfortunately, no.
Let's throw these dice away. Let's go with different dice. Let's go with the unicorn dice. It's never failed me.
So, what are we seeing now that we made it through?
Okay. I just want to make sure everyone got to what they needed to. But you come to the rear belly of the ship. Here, the cargo room has become a network of broken spurs and half-flooded chambers, where bodies float and treasure are borne out to sea. There are several holes in the hull, and the floor is broken and unstable. And so ultimately, you are trying to make it across to get to the rear of the wreckage. How would you like to do so?
Stealthily. As quietly as possible.
Okay.
Is it possible to pretend to be a dead body?
I mean, if you're a dead body, you're not moving.
It floats. There's a current in the ocean, but fair enough.
It seems to the current seems to be going out of the ship for the most part.
Look over. There's a dead dragonborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, fair enough. Then yeah, stealthily would be the correct answer.
This one you add 10.
Okay. And the water's like below where you are too. So, if that's it, then I think Tiny, if you're looking to be first, you could go ahead and give me an acrobatics check to make it from one stable patch to the other.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Yay. Acrobatics. 13.
13, you slip.
No.
And I need, before you fall down into the dangerous parts of the wreckage, I need a dex saving throw.
Oh. Okay. Am I about to be knocked prone?
No.
Okay.
necessarily.
13 again.
Okay. With that, you splash below, and you're carried 15 feet to one of the holes in the hull.
Help.
Though you do see down here, there seems to be a rope ladder
Oh, good.
that looks like it would lead to the rear of the deck.
Unfortunately, I'm far away from everybody, so they don't even benefit from Pass Without Trace anymore.
I think they might be within 30 still. It's 30, isn't it?
I thought it was 10. Let me check.
Is it
No,
10?
it is. It is a 30 foot. Okay.
Yeah, so
Never mind.
technically they're
You're
there.
good.
And then go ahead and give me a perception check.
A what?
Perception, please.
Oh, perception.
Everybody?
Just tiny.
24.
24. As you grab this rope ladder and look up to where it might lead, you can hear a voice. Oh, she's in there. I can feel her in there. And I'll be the one to wrench her free.
What? I kind of make a signal with my finger at my mouth, point up. Hopefully someone caught that.
So we've got a tiny in the water. The rest of you up top. What do you want to do?
Well, we're still trying to get to her, right? So
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll try.
All right. Give me an acrobatics check.
17.
You successfully make it across.
I guess I'll go.
Mhm.
14.
You fall in the water with Tiny. But I do Pass Out Trace, thankfully, reduces noise. So
I'll go next.
Cannonball.
15.
15, you fall in the water. Kurgana?
$19.
19. You successfully cross, so you're with Bjorg.
And then Corgano. Go ahead.
Asa falls in.
Okay.
Ah! All right. For good measure, everyone, I do need a stealth check with disadvantage, but you had Pass Without Trace to
Okay.
see what we get.
Joke's on you, I'm already at disadvantage.
You tell him, Molly.
And it's a 26.
29.
Griff and Corgana are on the same page again. 26.
17.
27.
With pass without a trace, Bjork.
I've never liked not being able to hear what's
Oh.
going around me.
No, you're right. It would actually be a 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
I
perfect.
was thinking reliable talent.
If I have to like hear,
Yeah.
If I'm like
That's
doing
why it's
anything else,
20.
I just can't.
They can get you a
There's
plus
other
10 on
people
top
around
of
who
that.
just can't.
No, exactly, yeah.
Sorry, what?
There we go. But then pass without trace is plus 10, so it'd probably be 30, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I was like, the rogue. What's going on there?
Tiny can only help you if you let her.
Very good. In that case, now you're emerging at the very rear of the wreckage, and you can see that there's a Laneshi blade that seemingly gave this destroyed ship its namesake, glowing with a pale and ethereal light, which drifts off it like mist. A fearsome Laneshi necromancer, bone and dark sigils across her skin, stands behind it, a ghostly echo hanging over her like a second shadow. Watching and on guard, you see 7 shapes ready to defend. Necromantic energy floods her eyes like ink, and with a cry, she begins to try to wrench the blade free. What y'all wanna
Excuse me?
do?
I'm sorry. We need to have a conversation here.
She looks.
Not here to steal the blade. We just need to ask a couple questions here because we're here for a Laneshi friend of ours.
You know one of my kind.
Yeah,
Who do you know?
a friend named Asa. Well, that might not be their name because they've forgotten their memories.
And where is this? Asa.
She's literally right here.
Well, you're all hiding, so unless you say
Yeah.
you're.
Yes,
So right now they're only seeing Kurgana because
yes. Corgana's up top.
the rest of
Just-
you were in stealth, so I didn't want to assume.
I just been. I wasn't sure where we were.
Yeah, you're
So-
down.
I
I'm up top.
You all
I
came
assume I'm
into
up by
this.
now. If it was only 15 feet because I have like a 40-foot climb speed.
Well, you're in the same room. You're a little separated from each other,
Okay.
but you should move yourself in. Sorry.
She's here,
She goes,
but
it's
we
his,
didn't
it's his
have-
eye.
oh, Asa will step up. Okay.
Yeah, she steps up when you say she's here because she's kind of like, yeah, I'm here. And thusly,
I would like to make sure I'm right next to Asa, just in case.
okay,
Can I stay hidden?
sure. Bjorg, what are you choosing to do with that? You gonna stay hidden or?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay hidden next to Corgana.
Okay. You see Asa's fishy eyes bulge out in shock at the sight of the woman before her. Noticing her, the Laneshi lets go of the blade she was trying to pull out. And her face almost mirrors Asa's in shock. Nella, my sweet. I thought you'd be dead by now. What a pleasant surprise. She just sort of stares. And Asa seems to almost be in shock, not quite knowing what to do.
Do they look like twins?
They do not.
Oh, okay.
Do they look like they could be related?
No, they don't appear. I mean, they don't. They don't look. They do not look like they're from the same family.
Can I do an
Okay.
insight into the tone to see if it was like to see what kind of bond they had, if it was more friendship or lovers?
Sure. Go ahead. Give me an insight check.
Cool. Dirty 20.
20. You see this look of a long lost friend from Lamora to Asa, with a little bit of detachment. You're not sure why.
So, you seem to know our friend here, and she doesn't seem to know so much about herself. Why do you expect her to be dead?
Alone Lanashi is food for the creatures of this world.
Well, she's not alone though.
When last I saw Lamora, bad. When last I saw my Nalem, she was floating in the water. Looks like she made it to land after all. I assume if you are saying your name is Asa, you still don't know.
No, I don't think that's what we came here to find out, was to see if there was ways to fill in some of the gaps that she was looking for. Right, Asa?
Asa kind of nods, says, well, first off, my name is Lamora. And if it is your wish to know what transpired, I'll tell you. Now, my Nalem, you are a warrior. And oddly, even though I was a mystic, you and I used to sneak off together and became friends. But it was an injustice to you. You kept on sneaking away from your warrior duties and lessons, and spied like a shark on my necromancy. It always fascinated you, even though you would have no aptitude for it. After a while, it became clear that you wanted to learn. And I told you that it was impossible. One like you could never master it. You refused to listen. And as you attempted and attempted, your happiness waned. And then you finally started to talk about leaving our Lanshi town. Become a rogue. Seeing that this was leading you to insanity, I decided it was best if you no longer thought the same. I invited you out for a swim up top, and then reached into your mind to take away these foolish notions. Take away pieces of our friendship, even, to make you believe you were happy with the hand you were dealt, with being a warrior. But I was young and foolish. I didn't understand the magics I wielded yet. It was forbidden, but I thought it would spare you execution. but your desire to learn magic was so strong and linked to who you were that by touching it, I deleted all of you. I was unable to undo it. So I left you in the water, hoping you would reach land and left. A casualty of both our foolishness. Looking at Asa, you see her face is welled up in hatred and anger, hearing all of this. What would y'all like to do?
Asa, do you wanna? And Lamora, I guess, as both of you would be involved. Do you have further need of questions or clarification, or we don't want to intrude, and very appreciative of your gracious timing, but we came for answers, and answers is what we have, Asa.
She nods. For all the strange looks I get in Ragfall, I feel like I've belonged there more than I ever did where she talks about. Ragval is my home. With Mada. Lamar has this half smile. Interesting. Well. Sounds like you have what you came for.
Do you need help with your situation? Because it seems like you were having some struggles, and you helped our friend. And my group is known for liking to make friends.
She gives this kind of strange look at you, almost marveling that you're able to form sentences. That's very sweet, but we'll be fine.
I think my friends would be upset with me if I didn't at least extend the offer. They're just dripping with sarcasm. And... but
it's time we reclaimed what is ours anyway. But don't worry. I'm sure you'll see us soon.
I'm sure that we'll be looking forward to it. Corgana, provided nobody else has anything else to do, when we start making their way out, unless somebody else wants to do something.
I'm good.
I have no questions for them.
Same.
Same.
Hmm. 'Cause, 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 As you go, she continues to wrest the blade from the Hall of the Blade Blessed. And Asa looks at you. As you all leave, she whispers, I trust your wisdom, Mercedes. The Laneshi Empire will grow more powerful. From that sword, I fear. We will have to deal with this act of mercy, I think.
Want us to burn down the ship?
Corgana just looks incredulous. Oh yeah, Tiny.
The ship is underwater.
Yeah, I don't think it'll quite burn.
Just asking.
She goes, I don't care what happens to a people who are so heartless.
Well, do you want us to fight them? I'm getting mixed signals here.
She's indifferent.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's just letting you know of what she's been able, like, she's just making clear that this is an empire that's there to expand.
yeah.
And is undoubtedly after this for more power on that end.
Maybe we should talk about this guy.
We came for answers. We got answers. We don't know what's going on in there. We're outnumbered, Tiny, in a tactical, difficult situation. And frankly, well, we need someone to deal with our elf problem for that. And Corgana's going to pull out the arrows that were scavenged from the bodies of the living, or from the dead, from the when they shot people. And we have some dead people up here who were shot. So if we leave some elven arrows in there, maybe the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend.
Well, either way, I don't know. I mean, if I was the general, I'd say let's charge in full throttle. But I'm not the general.
You and Asphalt charging through doors has led to great success.
Hey, I don't charge through doors. I bumped
You're just
into a
charging
wall
right
once.
Matt,
Mhm.
I have a question. I personally don't know this. Air elementals can exist underwater, correct?
Yeah.
I have the sensor of air elementals. We wouldn't be outnumbered. Well, we kind of would be. We have 2, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. If we count the air elemental, that's 6.
I'm just going by what Asa said. Asa says they're an expansive empire that's right on our doorstep.
So I think they want other characters to chime in here.
I think we should take it.
The sword.
Yes. And I'm not sure that we can let them have it. Hist?
Well, I guess it would be better. Do we know exactly what the sword does?
No, at this point, does it really matter what it does, other than it's going to give them a power we probably don't want them to have?
I do agree with that. It is always better to have, the power be checked.
Griff,
Yep.
what do you think?
I already said I was ready to go in.
Oh. Gorgana, what do you think?
I think that we're fighting at a disadvantage because Hist isn't going to be able to use his fire magic so well down here, which is kind of including. I don't know if that's been taken to calculations in reference to the outnumberedness that we're facing here. Above land, they lose some of their maneuverability, and frankly, if we have another, one of the things the chief asked for was cohesion, and the more enemies we have, the more likely everyone is to be better and accept people that are different from it. So I see it as a way of uniting people as another threat grows on our doorstep, that people want to include everybody and not treat them like shit.
Asa, I know you said you didn't know a lot about this empire, but based on what you know, are they a diplomatic people?
She thinks. I have read records of treaties being made. The Lanashi are vicious, but they do believe in honor on their word.
That's something.
At this point, you hear a cry of jubilance as you hear a sword being wrenched free.
Well, there you go. Well, I just a little worried because when you spoke to them, Gorgana, they looked at you like you were a tiny little bunny rabbit who was able to talk.
Yeah. They definitely look down. But one thing violence respects is violence. And so, yes, we will have to go ahead and, oh no, in the harshness of the Northland, we will have to fight for survival. Congratulations. You live in the fucking North. Next, you're going to tell me water's wet, Tiny.
Gorgana, you've got a serious attitude problem.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the only sane one around here.
I'm just checking in with you.
Well, I think at this point, since they have the sword, we should just leave.
All right. Well, we can sneak out at least.
Or get stabbed to death on the way out.
Right. So you are leaving.
That's my vote.
Same.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
All right. All right. As our department weeps for the map, but you make your way.
Right, but she's outnumbered.
I mean, you can go swim after them, Tiny, and steal it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, when I ask a question, I generally go, if people don't answer, I go, you're agreed with the group. Otherwise, I'm looking for an answer. So, what do we do? Are we leaving, or aren't we leaving there, Tiny?
I think I'm going with the majority. Majority decided to go.
Okay. So, is that with 4 leaving? Going, and all right. With that, you are able to get out. And do you just leave your people floating?
Gorgana will untie them for the purposes of the odd chance that friendship for people can be remembered in the long term. And then stick a few of the elven arrows into the dead bodies.
Very nice. Then, as you make your way fully onto shore, you do see a flash of green necromantic power. As even through the waters, you hear the snapping of necks. But you can on your way back to Regval.
Asa, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Whoever I was is... Lenora killed her. I guess I'm free. Knowing that, I am a new person. In every sense. I was made new that day. And the first person to take me in and clothe me was Modo. To make me part of Regval, to teach me the law. To allow me to be something that I wanted to be. She's just... I guess I wonder how I could have believed the same things. It's crazy to me that this body and this mind could have been like those people.
Well, that was how you were raised. You didn't know any different.
It's interesting. I like to believe that we are, I don't know, born good or something. But it is all chance the way we end up, it seems. I think I might be thankful for the way things turned out then.
Well, we're thankful for you.
All right. In that case, as you make your way back to Regval, let's go ahead and take our break. And remember, we have Downy Timies as well. Fun. So return. You can see in the days as you get back, Asa seems already to be saying hello to people as she passes them. Which shocks people at first, because for the last 6 months that's not been Asa. And you see more in public with Mardal, and interestingly, seems to be more open to Valaka and everything here, more so than you'd think. And it's really a change. This lease, this permission to be who she really always was since she was pulled out of the sea. As well, especially Kurgana, you can see this weighs a little bit on Gondol.
I'm sure it does. I was going to ask that question. So people are accepting of the necromantic fish person that's different, but not Gondol. Okay.
Given this, you could tell there was a piece of these are hard-hearted people. This is just, but now they are, and it's going various places. But we all have time for that, because right now we need to process what you're doing in the downtime of this.
Well, we have to choose something that does not require a week of downtime this week, because we agreed to use our week for the information as to who started the whole mess.
That's right. We already decided how we were going to use our downtime.
But we can choose still reinforce without something that does not require a week of downtime.
Correct.
Which looks to be mostly upgrades to Raffensheim. But it says right up at the top, the characters can spend their resources in downtime to help improve its defenses. So it's just including it all up at the top and reading that section is the part that I'm seeing. So unless someone sees something else that does not require. Oh, the Shrine Isle Shelter we could upgrade.
It'd be thematic.
Spend some time with Asa.
Yeah.
Get her. She's out of the house. We upgrade her place while she's out, sort of thing. Comes back to a makeover.
Extreme Shrine makeover.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, actually sounds like a funny thing.
So yeah, Asa got 2 makeovers this week. Unfortunately, I don't have the books as to what resources we would use for that and what our supply levels are.
I'm trying to find like the thing. Give me a sec.
Yep. I wasn't sure if you and Robin had a shared sheet that you were working off of or something like that.
Yeah, there's a thread. I just needed to find it.
Okay.
My timekeepers. This is the ending of what week do you have? So just double check that we're on the same calendar.
Week 3 of 13.
Okay, so perfect.
I have not been notified. One was that. I thought the first week we dealt with. Oh no, yeah, because we couldn't start downtime, so this would be the second one. So yes, this would be the week 3.
Yeah. Week 1 was Missy Clanfolk, Gormadrog Cult, Downtime Gathering Iron. Week 2 was Figures Across the River, the Stone Dwarf Monsters, and then Downtime was Fortifying Ragval. Specifically, we did, I think it was Venice Bridge.
Yeah.
RF5. She color coded it.
Okay.
All right. So we're upgrading the shrine. Is that good from everyone? I'm assuming we're good.
And I would suggest, if everyone's okay with it, we use the ore to upgrade it, considering we have wood acquisition difficulties.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that. How much iron is it gonna take?
50.
Okay. Double checking. The shrine is RF10, correct?
Yes.
$50 iron, which puts us down to 1,145.
Sounds good.
Okay. Very good. So, with that, okay, so your intelligence gathering, we'll get to that. Now, I have that it was really try to find out who was the first one to push was the idea.
I believe that's what we wanted, was the one who started it.
That's what I thought. All right, so sending several out. I would say Renal reports to you here. Where do you feel like Renal would find you all? Where would you like to receive this intelligence?
Where do we hang out when we're not out doing something?
So far, it's been the meadery.
I was going to say it. The meadery, is that our go-to place? We have like a set table in the back.
I mean, I think at this point we're the only table. Would I be correct in that, Matt? Is that the patronage is few and far between beyond us?
There's people who might go there. Yeah, people still go. It's not like you're the only, but it is not what it was.
So I would either say there or the training fields, considering he also wants to trade and lead people.
Yeah, he runs the fields now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One or the other is my thought.
I'm good with the training fields because I think Corgana needs to hit something.
All right. Then all of you find yourselves at the training fields. As Renal, between yelling at a few of the recruits, like, no, split this way. They go, yes, Skull Splitter, yes, Skull Splitter. Keeping them going, that's right. Taking his job to the full. Goes, right. Well, I tried to gather everything I could. see exactly what happened. A lot of people wouldn't talk, but kind of looks. There's a fella by the name of Stroh that, from all accounts, seemed to be the one to make the first push, as you could say. We briefly had a conversation with him. I did anyway, but I don't know, just seemed a bit weird about it. He would never mention it, and not that I think he would, but sounded like he was unsure about everything that day. I have him out practicing with the bow, in case you want to talk to him.
I think you all should go talk to him. I'm not sure I'm in the right mood to do this appropriately. I think that's a fair assessment for you all, yes?
Sure. How about you stay here and train with Ranulf while we go talk to this person?
I don't think that's going to be good for morale. I appreciate everything you're doing, Morale, but sometimes it wouldn't do good to, well, they need to look up to the people that's leading them, and so I will, I'll find myself busy in other ways.
How is training with Ranulf?
Are you?
Not. So my suggestion was Corgana stay and train with Ranulf, while the rest of us go talk to this other guy.
Sure. If that's what you want, Bjorg. Sure.
Well,
Oh,
why? I guess I didn't understand
Pagano
why.
was worried about showing up Ranulf in front of everyone receiving training from him.
Or just leaving him in a bloody mess and then having to continue to work in that regard.
That's what Kurgano was trying to say.
Okay, then I guess what I don't understand is why we would appoint someone to be training if they weren't up to the task. I guess was my point.
It'll be fine, Bjorg. You go talk to them. I will not break anything.
That's all I'm asking.
All right. So is it the 4 then approaching Stro here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sort of put my arms out to kind of hold them back. Not because I don't want them to follow. I want them to follow, but I want to do something first. Because he doesn't really know we're coming. He's practicing with the bow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pull out my longbow and shoot it past him at the target.
Okay.
I sort of want to startle him.
Very nice. Yeah, make it a longbow attack. Let's see how this goes.
I rolled a 2 for a 10.
Okay. So it comes around, nearly nicks him. He goes, yeah, and then kind of just hits the ground, kind of ingloriously, and bounces a little bit. As he goes, what the? Oh, Herr says, it was very confused. Were you trying to kill me?
No, if I was going to kill you, you'd already be dead.
if you say so. It was, I'm not. It kind of bows. Looks confused. Can I help you?
Sure, we just wanted to have a conversation. As I casually walk over and pick up my arrow.
Okay. Certainly. How can I help?
We'd like to know what happened the night that Gondol was trying to deliver some mead.
Oh. Kind of looks. I mean, yeah, give me a persuasion check.
Oh, because this is going to go great. Yeah, because I rolled a natural 1 for a 2.
We have 5 inspiration still from last session.
Well, I already rolled.
All right.
Oh, perfect.
I look. Oh, right. I heard about that. I saw her mead get refused. I remember that. And people said that later she was, well, people said that she had a rough time getting back.
And you had nothing to do with that rough time?
Looks no.
What were you wearing?
My clothes.
The same
Sorry,
ones you
I
have
was-
on now?
Yes.
What's the last thing you remember?
Give me a persuasion check.
I'll use that.
I was muted, but I had tried saying I would like to insight check him specifically when he was talking, like before Tiny's thing. Like, does he look like he feels shame or that he just doesn't remember anything?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
And
Okay. Yeah, he's got so many twitches that you notice. Eyes darting. You're not sure which it is. It's so full of ticks. It's hard to get anything definitive from just a little bit of behavior here. Then Tiny, what was your persuasion?
18.
18. Looks at you. Nods. I was there when Sven told her that the mead wasn't to be accepted and refused to have payment with her.
Did he touch you?
No. Then I began hearing a lot of talk. Everyone talking of her and how she might drag someone off and eat them. And then I remember becoming angry, but wondering why I was. I was thinking it was ridiculous, yet I was becoming infuriated.
Can I ask you to trust me? I want to try something,
I nod. Yes.
and I want to see if it's anything like what you experienced. I am going to attempt to charm
I have a it's a species trait. It's called Friendly Ear, and it allows me to charm a creature as long as I have spoken to them for about a minute. And they would do a charisma saving throw of 13. But that's also why I asked them to trust me.
Sure. And what's the effects of this? That's how it's supposed to work.
It literally just says you charm them, and so I'm not going to keep it on them, so to speak. I just want to have it on them to see if they feel anything familiar. Then I'm going to drop it.
So oddly, this isn't magical.
Okay.
Because charm just means you have, right? So it's not, charm's not mind control.
Okay.
Which is what I feel like you're trying to. But
okay. Okay, fair enough. Never mind.
I think though you kind of begin talking, because you can still do this a little bit. I'm just saying it might not give you everything you want. I'm not saying it's not going to give you anything.
Right. It's basically just to get one piece of information from them anyway, and but I'm not. It's not that she doesn't believe what he's saying, but now that I understand that, I'm not. I don't. Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you're trying to get a piece of information, you can ask that. That's fine.
I basically just want them to try and explain the sounds they heard. Are they like the sounds they're hearing right now with all these people talking around them? Or did it feel more enclosed in their head? Like,
Sure. They'll tell you that they heard it from people nearby.
Okay. Fair enough. And you just suddenly started feeling very, very angry.
Yes.
And then compelled. That's the last thing you remember, I mean.
I remember feeling angry and quickly making my way out of Raffensheim. And then the next thing. I was drinking in the hall. And people were saying good work today. But I didn't know what they were talking about. I began to piece it together, and I haven't known what to do.
I do want to do like a single insight check. Just,
Of course, yeah.
I feel like she's believing him anyway, but just to see if I detect any falsehood. Probably won't with that roll. That's an 11.
With 11, you're not seeing things that would give you external things besides.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep believing it.
Could I try using detect magic to see if there's any lingering traces of magic on him?
Certainly.
And could I use identify?
Mm-hmm. He, at this point with the successful persuasions, he is giving himself over. He is very curious himself, it seems. Investigating him, not surprisingly, Griff, you don't see any lingering traces, which would let you know that he just hasn't been affected again. With all these days gone by. As well as identify, he's not under any current magic There's nothing currently different. He himself is not a magical device.
And I phrased the question earlier that I kind of want to rephrase this time. I asked him if Sven touched him. Now I want to ask if he remembers anyone touching him right before he started feeling that sensation.
Yes.
So I was thinking Sven, but now I'm thinking maybe this is somebody else.
Okay. He looks. I don't. Not in particular, but when this had occurred, everyone had made room, so we were all pressed up against each other.
Would you mind if I checked you for fingerprints?
Translating this, he goes, "Sure, yes, he's good with you, whatever."
I'm going to cast Clue on him because it allows me to also look for fingerprints as well as footprints. And I'm going to narrow my focus to the time period that I used originally. I want to now add on an additional 3 to 4 hours, I think, should do it. So originally, when I put that focus on that ground, I'm using that same time period, but I'm adding another 3 to 4 hours prior to that event.
Right.
Checking his body since he said he was wearing the same clothes. That's why I asked that. And just kind of seeing if any hand or fingerprint, rather, appears on him that looks interesting. And this is a 45-foot area, so it should cover his entire body.
Yeah.
Just as a point you touch.
Yeah. As far as given his testimony, a lot makes sense that there was like a lot of touching that has occurred, especially given kind of what you heard. People were milling about. He said he was being congratulated and such things, right?
Right.
So there's a bunch. However, what you do reveal, and you wouldn't have a match for this based on your other spell yet. But there is a lone print right upon his left ear.
Okay.
That's out of place. Like, people weren't touching his neck or face, right? But in this time period, but there is this print that's not his on his ear.
I'm going to note the color of that fingerprint. I'm also going to point it out to the others, just so I'm aware of that color in case I'm looking for it again later.
Thank you. That was helpful. I don't think you necessarily did anything wrong. This was possibly just someone taking advantage of you. And if that's the case, then we would intend to find out who that person was. Did you notice anybody acting weird around the time that the drinks were turned away?
Thinks back. No, I can't say. I didn't notice anything.
Have you come across anyone that you normally wouldn't? Just anyone new? Anyone have you met anyone new recently?
I mean, I've met a lot of those you brought back. But So yes, none that stick out as trying to make me. He actually kind of chokes up. Do what they say I did.
Have any of these new people been avoiding you since the incident?
Not that I can think of.
People who were congratulating you, what sorts of people were these? What did they do? Are they guards? Are they
Just various. I mean, he doesn't have. I'm going to help you answer your question. There's not something that generally links them,
Okay.
other than being in the clan.
And was this the first time that you've hung out around Sven or the others?
I mean, it's not the first time I was in. I was just in doing business.
Oh, what's your business?
I help with making the bows.
Oh, nice. I actually shoot bows.
I'm aware. Anyway, you have famous shot. I was just delivering and some that nothing in particular.
Does anybody else have any questions for the time being?
Nope.
No.
How about you, Bjork?
Nope. I'm good. Thank you.
We're gonna try to get to the bottom of this and let you know what we discover. But for the time being, it might be best to keep this conversation between us.
Of course. Yes. Wait.
All right.
And just he stops you. Herr Sirs, I would appreciate any advice on. I don't even know what to call it. Is there something I can do for Gondor? I fear apology is the wrong word because I don't even remember it.
I think
I just want to help.
maybe we should talk to Gondor first.
Of course. Just know I would like to do what I can.
Of course.
I don't know what. I don't know.
I know. Believe me, we'll find out who's responsible, and that person will face the consequences. For now, like I said, we'll just keep this between us, but we'll obviously, hopefully, when we speak to Gondor, we can find out some more information, and if there's anything that we can do to help mend that bridge when the time comes, I'm sure we can all do that.
It would be helpful, though, that since people are more likely to talk around you, that if you hear something that might be of use, to let us know, and we can find a way to meet with you discreetly for that information.
Yeah.
Of course. There has been much talk of all of you taking over from the chief.
It's all rumors. It's not true.
Not much to gain in taking over.
But where have you heard these rumors from, out of curiosity?
Those hushed whispers here and there. That's I mean, people talk. I don't give enough, but it's more of what you know. We're just a lot of people are talking about it. Like, there's those who are dissatisfied, and
But Stro, don't play hero or anything, or try to do anything crazy. But if you do hear something, pass it along. But don't necessarily go out and actively seek that, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Of course.
All right. We need to go talk to Corgana and pass along what we know.
All right. Gorgana, were you actually trading with Ronal, or like trying to fight, because otherwise he would have been, there was plenty of dummies to practice on.
So, would Renal be dumb enough at the suggestion that Bjorg...
Ronal definitely would have been like, I just set up some really good rocks. Right
okay,
over
so
here.
we're not just smart enough to be like, hey, Corgana, let's not spar, sort of thing. Okay.
He would at least try to suggest it heavily.
That he and I not spar?
Yeah.
Okay. Then as long as he doesn't broach the subject, then he has all of his limbs and bones still intact. Then yes.
Very good.
If he had suggested it, it would have been a different story. But yes.
No. So here he does have what amounts to like a rotating crane of wood that like you can dodge and strike and these types of things. Is actually quite good.
Actually, Matt, no, Corgana's with having a few minutes, Corgana's actually going to slip away to some place that's just quiet.
Okay.
And then in that quiet, it's just going to murmur to the air. More strife, more discourse, more anger, more bloodshed in the world. Perhaps it will be enough to keep the druids away, or murder a few of them in the midst of all of this. But we'll see what happens in the long term, I guess. And just use it to see what he can see about people that he might be able to interject a little bit more chaos.
Okay, so they find you in a quiet spot. All right. So a little bit by the water on a rock is find Corgana.
Yeah, if it looks like it's safe to talk here, then, but only if it looks like it's safe to talk. If not, I'm going to suggest Cole's house. But we'll pass along what we've learned from talking to Stro. And that we could be looking for someone who matches a certain fingerprint, but that's kind of a needle in a haystack right now. But it's possible that it was either multiple people, one person, or whoever it was in the tent that day when he started to feel that sensation.
Tiny, may I suggest that you check on Sven's drink at some point, their beverage holder? Because just because you found nothing magical doesn't mean that the foreigner that's so close to the chief couldn't possibly have a poison that affects the mind, body, or soul in other ways.
I haven't ruled out anything. I
No,
haven't ruled out or anything. But yeah.
I'm just saying, that would be my suggestion. Would be that would probably be the look would be at someone in Sven or Sven himself or their circle would be, as based on your story, no one asked about the beverage if it tasted funny. But beer's good for hiding stuff, so.
Well, we know that he has poisons.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I know about poisons, some are also tasteless. So it may or may not, but it's still a lead. We've got that, but the weird thing was the fingerprint against the ear. That's the part that it makes me feel like whoever this was, maybe, was intimate. Maybe kissed him. You know how you can like take a hand and put it behind someone's head. I can model it.
Are you talking about time with Braggy?
Who?
One of the villagers, Braggy, who's been looking his anyway.
No, haven't
Did
you
you-
heard Tiny's been promised to at least one, possibly two of Brenna's sons.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, Tiny.
Which Braggy is one of them.
Yeah. And you know, there's also Erlich.
Did you ask them if they were making out with or intimate with anybody, Tiny, when you spoke to them?
Well, no, I didn't think it was an appropriate question.
You all have some weird borders.
Well, some people don't want to talk about stuff like that. You know.
Oh, but we're going to talk about how I tripped somebody and started a trampling of them, and that's more appropriate or more acceptable.
Wait, what?
What do you mean? What, Tiny?
We tripled? What? What?
So you spoke to them. They started essentially someone getting trampled or kicked in the middle of the street.
Uh-huh.
And it's okay to talk about that, but not okay if that they have a girlfriend or boyfriend or partner or someone that they're intimate with from time to time when the situation persists.
Corkana, maybe they're not official yet. I don't know.
Right. So you don't have to put titles to it. Just ask them if they were kissing somebody or someone was close to them, sort of thing.
Well, to be honest, I didn't even think about it until now, or I probably would have.
Then.
Anyway, that's another option, though. That's another lead, is possible love interest, possible poisoning, drink bearer, possible that someone just bumped up against his head, maybe popped him in the back of the head like a friendly gesture.
What do you all think about this? You've been fucking quiet. You are an intellectual person. What do you think about this whole fucked up situation? Besides, I want to put a fireball through somebody's arms and dislocate their shoulder.
Oh, I just think it's a difficult situation to find out exactly where it comes from. Like we've had a lot of rumors going around first, and now to know that someone's been taken over, it's weird how little trace has been left. And I've just been trying to think about that for a while, like what else would have been missing.
Oh, if there's so little trace.
Oh my god, that's it. Corkana, you're brilliant. Think about it. If we throw a party and we serve everybody drinks, then we cast my spell and we can check everybody's drink for the color.
Except where are you going to get the mead for that, Tiny?
Oh. We'll have to figure out a way to do that. Or just really maybe
Why don't we hold a census?
A census? What's that?
Counting out everybody
We have other things.
to get a proper count. Just an excuse to see everyone. We could still get the colors that way. Make them sign something.
Not a bad idea. Or we could just like go up to where the people put their training blades, check all the training blades.
And if they don't fight and they're a fisher, Tiny?
Then we have definitely ruled them out.
That doesn't work that way. Matt, question. Would there be any large upcoming events that are normally part of the traditional Valakian year?
I'd be at the end of autumn.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. But we have cola. We could say it's Cole's birthday. And we'll serve cola as
We
a
just-
special.
We just celebrated the dead for the year, Tiny.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe
Maybe it's your birthday.
I'm also thinking that possibly that census thing we might have something going with that, because we have all of those new people that we welcomed into the clan. We could phrase it as like checking in on them after the first few weeks to see how they're acclimating, finding new jobs.
Making sure we have a proper head
Whoa.
count.
Get out.
I want to get to the bottom of this more than any of you do. But there's questions about our ability. There's questions about what's going on here. We have the fortification of the village that has to be taken place. Like, at what cost to everybody that wasn't part of this is, are we doing this? Like, we have to get shit done here, and if we're doing this, then we're not doing that.
Right. Well, there's one other option. If we could narrow down the list a little bit. For instance, if Stro was present when the people were in that tent, he might know some of them, and we could just at least get a group of them together, and as more of a private affair, do the quick check, rule out the people in the room, or verify it was one of them.
Oh, that's what my first suggestion was, and was for you to check out Sven. And since Sven doesn't leave Raffensheim, and this was happening around Raffensheim, that you start there and like do a drink night with the people in Raffensheim and or eat dinner with people there and have a conversation with Sven and swipe some of their stuff and do an analysis afterwards, Tiny.
Yeah,
But-
we do that.
Yeah, and just do that at dinner one night. And that, I think, will give you a close idea as to what you're looking for. Be my guess while we do the rest of the stuff that we need to get done.
Yeah, I don't think Sven gave me anything when I spoke to him, but
No.
that's okay. No, I was
But-
just thinking out loud.
Well, he did touch you, didn't he, Tiny, when you went into Raffensheim? Like, did you guys like have a handshake or something like that?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and check.
But
But
again,
if
they like
he
you.
did, then I could do it soon. Yeah.
But they like you, so go hang out with them for dinner or something like that. Because
That's
they
a good
like you
point.
and they don't like me.
Yeah, I could do something like that, like just drop by again. I did tell them that I might drop by again at some point, and then maybe I can hand them something, they can look at it and then hand it back, and then I'll have that piece of evidence that I can test later. Like maybe I'll show them my weapon or something like that.
He did touch my sword, Tiny. He
He
did
did?
touch my sword
How
on
long
the
ago?
boat.
It's
3
been
months?
weeks.
It's
Oh,
been weeks.
I think that'd be 10 days.
Yeah, it's been
No,
longer
it's-
than 10 days. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's been weeks.
it's back in winter
and in summer.
and summer. Yes, sorry.
But
So
that is a good idea. We could get him to touch something, or we can see him touch something, have him hold something. Yeah, we'll do that at some point.
dinner, Tiny. Dinner.
Yeah, dinner.
Couldn't we
I'll
just
ask
shake
him
his
out.
hand?
Was that kiss?
Couldn't we just shake his hand, go up and say hello, and just introduce ourselves? Pretend like we don't remember.
But that falls on you guys because I'm pretty sure he and I, anything that I do with them is going to be misconstrued.
Yeah. Just get him to touch my ear.
But anyway,
Yeah. And one thing to be clear about all of this, while certainly your magic can lead you to things, generally Valakan culture is so suspicious of magic,
Right.
that you couldn't, as an evidentiary thing,
Right. We can't use it as evidence.
Yeah. Again, it could point you to get the stuff you need to make a point. But
Gotcha. But for our sake, it could be used as verification
exactly,
for us.
like for you to have a better idea, of course.
We just need more evidence on top of it.
I would like to, at some point, either rule him out or rule him in, because if we can at least do that, then I feel like we're going to be on the right track either way. Because that is the big question: Sven's involvement. Is he involved? Is he not? And this will at least help.
All right. So that is, you have this general plan of a thing as we go forward. All right.
Now, as for our next big thing, is that what we have to discuss?
Not right now, actually.
Okay.
So that might be a conversation in a little bit, maybe next week. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the session goes. So some other things happening here. This goes towards the end of the week here, and Korgana, outside of the meadery as you approach, you see just in some of the lantern light, Seri waving to you.
Oh boy, what's you're here to give me good news, right? I'm trying to take a book out of Bjorg's page, and you're giving me good news, right?
She goes, no news at all. Sorry, no news at all. You've had the week. You've all done your investigations that you talked about. Do you see yourselves as stepping up and leading this clan? Or are you going to let it go by Raven's hand?
You came out here specifically to ask me, because if you wanted everyone, you would have done so in other places. So are you at... Things are wrong here, Sari. I think the others don't feel the pressure because they're not being ostracized as much as I do. I want to attribute this to a handful of individuals versus an overall piece of authoritative allowing this to happen, and want to solve it that way. I lack both the physical and the martial prowess to do it alone. As Raffen is a man of legend. And so, while I would like to do more, I am limited in what I can do.
She nods, but I can help with that.
Excuse me?
You said you're limited. I
Yeah.
can help you go beyond that.
We're still in the street, right?
I mean, it's night. There's no one quite
Okay.
around, but so there's no one really around. She's speaking very quietly.
Tiny's taken and looking to keeping an eye out on things. So let's Let's go back to the meadery.
She nods.
And then I will continue this. So, what you're asking for is for me to take more proactive steps to try and bring leadership here. Yes?
She nods. Yes, away from that milk drinker.
I would love to do nothing more than, well, there's a few things I would like to do, but if I'm being honest, yeah. But so you just want the milk drinker gone then, and do you think things will return to normal?
Would be much better.
And how would you help?
You don't like surprises.
Why do I have a feeling you're going to drop something else in my lap? But Korgana just places their hands on the table. Tell me.
How would I help? It's a cloak. One which will make you akin to a shadow. Allow you to conceal even the most brutal weapon within its darkened folds.
Okay, and then you'd want it back after I got rid of the milk drinker?
No. You could keep it.
Why didn't you offer this before?
I did. I told you I could help.
Well, maybe I wasn't listening in my anger. I do apologize. I tend to...
But there is something I need before I can give it to you. A payment of sorts. A shadow.
Any shadow? Or
Yes.
my shadow?
Oh, you can take it from anyone you want. You just leave it for my shadow keeper to collect on the new moon at the lighthouse. And by the next new moon, you can find it there.
So how do I take someone's shadow?
She looks at you. It's she
I
goes,
can't believe...
if you agree,
Mhm.
I can give you that ability.
So I need to get you a shadow, and then by the next new moon, the item we spoke about by the lighthouse will be there.
Yes.
And the only thing that will happen is the person won't have their shadow anymore?
Indeed.
Fighting against a bunch of people that want to hug and solve all of their problems with friendship. Korgana will stick their hand out. I think we have an agreement.
Delightful. She grasps your hands. You have 3 chances to take a shadow. Do not miss the drop time and do not linger, or your offering would not be claimed. It would be wise if you did not speak of this to anyone. It isn't safe for me to say who else is in on this. And Raven still has many misguided supporters. Have faith. There are indeed others in the village who would see old Raven fall. And she puts her arms wide.
Uh-huh.
And their black fur-lined cloak flaps. And a darkness creeps along the ground from their shadow to yours.
Uh-huh.
And you feel you have the ability to steal a shadow.
Yay! I've always been the one giving these sorts of deals, man, not the recipient of one. I'm gonna sit on this for a few. Thank you very much.
Very good. Let me just... So basically, I'm giving you the spell Steal Shadow, which you can use 3 times before you are no longer able to cast it, and it does not cost a spell slot.
That's good.
Get to handouts.
Thank you.
There it is. So, this being the 3rd week, you essentially have the 4th week to complete this.
I know what I might be doing a little bit in my free time then.
But for now, let me. My gosh, I don't know why I can't find songs sometimes. There we go. So go here, and we will begin the 4th week thusly. And let's see. Reports begin coming in of a ship off the coast, being headed directly toward Regval. There's a lot of things, and of course, many are running to you, Herr Sayers, with this news. Gathering you all, wondering what exactly that you would deal with it, which would be normally your duties as well, as the chief does not, as a rule, come out of Revan's time. So, any particular way you are coming out? And just give us a little bit of a chance here. Or any changes to note for this week?
Do you think we should take a ship to go out to meet them? Griff addresses the others.
Well, we might as well try to wave a flag and see if they respond before sending a ship out.
Wave a flag? What kind of flag?
A white flag.
Do you really think they're coming here for peace talks?
Those are the merchants that are supposed to be coming here, if I'm not mistaken. They said a few weeks. This would be a few weeks. But they could be invaders. We should certainly make preparations.
So you kind of just gather like what worries you can and are ready as it comes. Sounds like that's what we're doing.
I would like to see. I don't know if it's along the way, but if it is, stop by Gondol's father's place to see if this would be along the timelines of what he was expecting and how he was expecting merchants to come.
Coming quickly, he will confirm. Go. I think so.
Then you best be on your way.
Come.
And
And you can see as they come in, you see from the top of the ship a glorious two-master of foreign make, not Valakin, come boisterous shouts and greetings as its Valakin crew heaves down a shore boat brimming with crates. One woman stands at the prow of the small craft as as her crew paddles it to shore. Her skin is light brown and her hair is short, black and curly. She dresses in Valakin furs, but wears a sharp masculine doublet beneath it all. As she... go ahead.
Hiss, do you know who that is in your learned esteem?
Do I know who that is?
No, you don't, not offhand.
Okay.
Can I do some kind of check to see if I had read about them or heard about them in passing?
I mean, I would say that like you can all this says Tales of Merchant, but you wouldn't know this person necessarily.
Okay. No, not particularly.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we had like a world famous merchant coming town into our little hamlet, but okay.
She will yell from a boat. Greetings, my fellow Valakans! My name is Maroon, daughter of the best merchant to ever sail the seas. My ship is from Scarfanes. I'd like to meet your leader, set up shop. I hear you've got a real hero as your chief. Where is the one they call the Raven of Scare?
Is Rothan here?
No, he wouldn't be.
Okay.
These types of things you all would take care of.
Gotcha. Well,
Either getting her where she needs to be or whatever you see fit. As you remember, you have a lot of leeway in all these types of things.
fair enough. Well, Maroon, was it, Matt?
Yes, Myroon.
Myroon, okay. Myroon, welcome to Ragval. Rothan is currently speaking out and about in reference to things that require his, but we would be happy to welcome you and make sure that the feast is available for your discussion with them later on this eve. But we can get you situated in the meantime.
Of course. Come, grow. And you can see there is another woman who's with her that just kind of stays by her in this white cloak as she nods. And they order more crates to come off. Go, ship, a northern guard until we can have our place to set up shop then. Grow with me, please. And the woman just nods.
Okay. We're good for the moment.
Are we allowed to search their cargo?
You can certainly try to negotiate such a thing. I mean, say if you just try to approach, he goes, woo, 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 you know, so you have to have a conversation.
I'm gonna bring Gondol's father along to meet them. What's his name again? It's buried in my notes. Is it even in my notes? No.
We get there, you bring him. He goes,
Yeah, I'll make the introductions. This is
Would be Grindel here.
it's Grindel, Gondel, and
Yeah, it's because it's Gondel Grindel's daughter. So
Gondel. Okay. Grindel. This is Maroon. Believe you have a lot in common in regards to profession and trade.
yes, I put up word that we needed the merchant line, as the chief asked. As I'm sure we still need to negotiate the price to set up shop with the chief, but
Certainly.
unless you herself wish to take it over, of course.
I mean, it's good for well-renowned travel such as yourself, Maroon, to go ahead and meet, and you've requested dinner for sure. But as part of bringing everything on, we are a small village, so we have some vulnerabilities. I have some of my horses would be very intrigued to go ahead and have an early sight as to what goods you bring, so that way we can tell Roffin of what it is, and to help negotiate for what we as a village need, not just as individuals. If you would allow them to go ahead and inspect, just so that way we have a good idea of what's going in and what we can go in to discuss about for dinner.
Yes, just as long as the goods are treated carefully, I see no problem.
Wonderful. And while we wait, how about I show you around town?
She agrees. Come, girl. And Maroon and Grow will follow. And everyone can decide what they want to do here, it sounds like.
I will let them know that they can search the goods if they so want. As long as it's treated with care.
Bjorg wouldn't treat it any other way. Bjorg is gonna do a little searching.
Basically the same, trying to identify as many things as seem notable.
All right. So he goes, give me investigation checks.
Natural 20 for a 30.
All right.
I also got a nat 20 for a 27. That was high though.
Yeah, looking for through here, there are just tons of items. Essentially, everything from the adventuring gear section from the player's handbook is here. In addition, it does seem like there's you can see coming in, getting ready to be unloaded, is timber and iron, even some potions of healing, various intensity of colors, armors, rifles, bellows and bellow canisters, a specialized crossbow, you can tell, and then various weapons. You see sabers, claymores, and polearms. Some of Burkai make, some of Castanelian make. Just get a real good sense of all this. You don't see any contraband, really.
I wasn't necessarily looking for contraband. I mean, clearly that would have been an afterthought. What Bjork's main concern is if there was enough to equip an army.
Actually, as far as to entirely equip an army, no, there's a good amount of weapons that would be for sale and good make. And then just the gear, which isn't necessarily so. It doesn't look necessarily certainly. To answer the question, enough. There's definitely enough things that could definitely help, but not there's not 100 swords or something.
Okay, that was the main concern, was was there enough for them to maybe start an uprising
Hmm.
in the clan?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly she would have looked for contraband too, but her big concern was that.
Yeah, as far as like very like nice weapons, what you mostly get is like what look like very specialized weapons that like can do that like look a little more deadly, but there's only like 10 or so of those. So,
Okay.
Also-
if you're thinking conspiratorially, definitely a small strike force, but not an army.
Okay.
Also, I was trying to look specifically for if anything was just not like maybe not, but if anything was not what it appeared to be, or they're trying to sneak anything in that like was more because I was using identify to see if anything was like more magical than. I want to see if I found anything.
Not really sneaking. You can tell that some of the potions are greater healing potions, and I guess what you both could notice this, given kind of what you're telling me you're more looking for, is what looks like there's a specialized crossbow, and the boats that look like they're ready to be sewed with it in the same container are silvered.
Interesting.
Which would be considered a horrible thing, especially in Atharis, but that is a...
What happened? What did I miss?
They discovered that some of the crossbow boats were silvered. Julie's not. I don't know, Bjorg, you're on mute if you're saying anything about it.
If she'll whisper to Hist, Hist, we need to do something about these. We can't let them get into the hands of someone else.
I'm sorry, above table. What's so bad about silvered?
Werewolves?
So, Gondol is a lycanthrope werewolf. And so that's where this is the connection they're drawing here. Is
okay, I
we're meant
see.
to take this person down, so they're a little worried about that.
Sorry, I did not make the connect. I forgot about that. I suppose that is a bit of a concern. Maybe we can at least let him know that we need to keep a registry of who buys them.
Well, any good merchant would keep a registry of who buys what so that they know what kind of inventory they need. Now, whether they're willing to share that piece of information is another story. Or it's possible that they have some sort of code for who purchases what.
We could have force him to be open with the inventory of specifically those arrows as a requirement for selling them.
I don't know how well that would go over.
That's fair.
I mean, I suppose it's a conversation we should have with the rest of the group and get their thoughts on how we should handle the situation, but we need to do something about the situation.
Makes sense. We should just meet up with everyone else.
Okay. So, anything else on this front, or anything else anybody wants to do?
Just out of curiosity, while we're going through all this, do they have any like specialized arrows for longbows?
I mean, they have regular arrows. Because, like I said, anything you could find in adventuring gear, they would have. But as far as special arrows specifically, no.
Okay. Just curious.
No, I think as far as when you're really looking for things that look very special, would be the crossbow, the flame bellows and the bellow canisters, the sabers, the claymores, and the pole arms.
Okay.
And incidentally, they have some plate armor, but there we go. All right, then. I know Tiny hasn't got a chance for anything, so before I go to unless about to go to showing them around, so I don't know where Tiny is, so I got this better question. Where's Tiny in all this?
Tiny can just be watching, I think, and that's fine.
So watching the inspection?
Yeah.
Or is she watching the tour?
No, she was probably just with the ship, I guess.
Okay.
So she'll just stay there.
Shift. So Griff, where were you?
I think Griff would be with the tour, and he would be inciting two things. One, Gru's and Mayroon's kind of relationship in the sense of is Gru their bodyguard, or are they there to gain outside information about our defenses, that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
And then the second thing would be on whether or not Mayroon is trying to be distracting in that sense.
Okay. Absolutely. Give me just insight here.
Would I be able to aid, as Corgana was intending to flirt, to see if either struck a fancy for him?
Certainly. I will let you give me. Why don't we add your charisma to the insight
Okay.
check?
So that's +4.
All right. I was gonna use one of these inspirations that I heard Corgana tell me about,
Nice.
because I've been rolling real poopy tonight. And it doesn't matter because it was a double 5. So it's 12 plus 4, you said? So 16.
Okay. Okay. So observing them, so this is this is observation and flirting. Okay. So generally speaking, they don't show a particular fancy. They are polite to Kurgana, but don't encourage anything or reciprocate.
That's perfect. That's what I wanted.
But you would be able to pull out from these conversations and observations that occasionally, in fact, Marin kind of says, "Your charms, I think, are lost on the Confessor," as she refers to Grow. And through that, Griff, you could determine. They talk about that she is a confessor and cleric of the Archseraph Solima.
That triggers something deep in my lizard brain. I'm trying to remember what it's from.
It's because you played the other
Yeah.
Grim Hollow campaign.
Yeah.
So
Give you a minute to go find that little thing, because I know what I remember some of this.
So And as far as her eyes seem to be very much upon Maroon here, Amurnai. She's watching her. You can see nothing too crazy, just enough like what you basically kind of cantrip like magic, detecting, like kind of being aware of the surroundings a little bit. And she's also listening carefully. You know that part of her work seems to be determining any truth or treachery in anything that's said. That's part of her service, determining the truth in others. You think she can certainly do magically, but for the most part, she's doing more like you all would, just paying close attention to mannerisms. I think the biggest thing you determine is her main focus now is to get a baseline from people to go, how are they, so that she could be more use as time goes on.
So how did you two come to be together in company and traveling with each other?
My own goes, it's really lucky. My family and I are deeply religious, devout followers of Solema, and we wanted to have our travels blessed. So of course it was very hard to find Grow here. But we did, and we were able to convince her to sign on with our Morencia trade and become part of the family.
Interesting. And how do you find your new family and your time at seas, Grow? Confessor. How do you prefer to be called?
Grow. It would be
Grow.
fine.
Grow.
No need for formalities. Yes, I have. It is the greatest pleasure to have become a Stensdotter. But you asked me how I find my duties.
No, how do you find your new family?
Oh, it is different. I guess it's a welcome change from being hungry, hidden away from the darker forces of this world, and now getting to travel and more openness than I was used to, and of course better food. Only so much leaves. I'm enjoying it quite. I'm blessed and grateful.
Wonderful. Well, let's continue on to our next stop, and I'm sure Griff has any questions, they'll ask you along the way as well. But Corgana will keep them away from exceptionally sensitive points. Like they'll give them the general tour, but anything that's overly sensitive, they will keep them away from.
Of course. Very good. All right. Cool. Anything else, or is this just eventually letting them have a conversation with the chief, or anything we want to do? I guess probably because that's probably the biggest thing that will eventually happen is the conversation with the chief. Anything before that or leading up to that?
Not from me.
Not from me.
Not for me.
Okay. So, it is gathered. She is brought, and it's mostly her and Grow that are there to sit with the chief and Sven. If any of you wish to be there, you're going to get an odd look, but the chief will not refuse you. But it's up to you.
Is this in his private dining room?
Yeah, this would be away from everybody. It wouldn't be in a public thing because it would be negotiations, which he wouldn't do in public.
Okay.
I'll stay away.
is anyone choosing to be there? I guess then.
Well, Bjorg would sneak in, but he's already seen her, so.
He's like, we come explode.
Did you set the table properly this time, Bjork? Did you set the table properly?
All right. Then with that, you'd be able to get to the news that the chief agrees to pay what she asks, which is 500 gold and a gift of a small plot of land on the northern shore to set up her shop. So he kind of goes back and forth, but she says, "Oh, I can take my ship," and he goes, "Fine," and agrees until. And essentially, the plot of land would revert back to the tribe or the clan here when she would leave. As it seems like she's only intending to stay until the end of autumn.
Would it be possible to just check in with well, one, would anyone have told Corgana about the silver bolts?
Oh, we
Yes.
definitely would have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Corgana would love to have a small conversation with Grindel at some point, just to see why he wanted to bring foreign merchants in there, into the town that he wasn't able to provide or that we couldn't manufacture. But for the most part, it would be a tense to steal his shadow.
Very good. The conversation seems straight up front. Just stuff he can like. His job is to negotiate and use his connections to get trade here, especially this much supplies. He's had a shop, but this has been more bountiful opportunity and supplies than he's ever been able to do, and so he made things. But
Okay.
all right, so we're going on to the Steel Shadow.
Yeah, you don't bring somebody up here who's going to carry goods to kill your daughter.
Very cool. So we start with a melee spell attack. You can tell me what you get here. You're muted.
Yeah, 9.
9.
I don't know if that hits an unarmored, old man, but
Unfortunately not. So
Okay.
give me the sleight of hand to see if they notice.
oh, it's just a spell attack straight up. If you do, then you don't have to do the sleight of hand. Got it. Okay, I thought it was a two-parter. I'm going to use the inspo now that was in. Yes, I thought it was a twofold. One was required first, and then because I would have done it on the first one, but it's fine.
Wait,
I-
yeah, you do. You make the spell attack, then you make the sleight of hand.
I thought it was that it says if you make the spell attack. I thought it was if you. Oh, it's okay. It's fine.
As part of the spell attack.
You can. Oh,
you can make
gotcha.
the deck saves too. I'm assuming you don't want him to see you
Yes.
do this.
Yes. All right.
So since you
I-
failed the casting.
Yes, I will make this sleight of hand with advantage. 20.
20. Okay. So as he's going and talking, yes, and organizing, you go to reach, and it's just kind of quickly goes, "What? No, I got something over here."
And, yeah. I will. I feel like such a petty asshole right now as a person. But yeah, I will take his shadow.
Well, so you missed. This
Oh.
was you. The decks, the stealth, so you didn't notice. So you didn't notice
Oh.
you tried to do it. And so, what? In
Okay.
other words, you can try again to do the attack and then do another dex or another sleight if you want.
Sure, I will. God, I'm gonna chew through all the. Yeah, I'm gonna try to take his shadow again because while we're talking and he's running his shop.
All right.
$20 to hit.
That does. And now
then-
to see if he notices.
All right, so I went 4 or 3. I will use another one of those inspirations because yeah. $12.
A 12. All right, let me. Gotta figure out what set block we're using for him. And here we go. Okay. Doing a quick look up. It might be, it might not. Let's see what we come to here. Does the 12 make it? So meets it, beats it. You successfully achieve as you grab, as now he no longer casts a shadow.
Okay. Molly's gonna have some questions later
Take up the little
and hide it away.
And I would say, what do you feel like it looked like as you took this?
What do I feel, or what does it? What are you looking
Like
for?
in your head, how do you feel like the visual magic of this was?
Oh, I think that it was, Corgana's carrying around some extra burdens. It's sort of like Corgana's shadow, grew some fangs in the draconic form and just ate the other shadow into itself, as it grew a little bit longer, and yeah, just consumed a shadow in that regard to pull it away.
All right, very good. In that case, what I would love is what all of you would be thinking of for the next week. Before we end for tonight, I would say Alfigure would be able to tell you more at this point about when he had gone in.
You mean Alvis? Or...
Alvis, yeah, sorry, not Alfigure.
Okay.
Alvis. But other than that, y'all can try to decide a little bit. In character or otherwise. So any thoughts on that?
The only thing that I think Griff would be doing is doing some training with he would kind of like ask Hist for some assistance to be doing training to combat magic attacks, because that was something that we really had issue with in our last raid against like powerful mages. And I think in Griff's mind that would be something that we should work on.
Hist would be doing it in exchange for knowledge on Griff's connection with his dead wife and how that works.
Are we talking about what we would do for downtime, or?
So what I was asking for
what?
is, what do you guys feel like your next quest is? If anything, that was what I was meaning to ask here.
Okay, well, that's kind of what I thought. My suggestion would be the elves.
If it's that, then I would say either the elves or trying to figure out who potentially might be wanting to buy these silvered bolts.
Okay. Anybody else have something they want to throw into the pot there?
I'm not fully sure what else beyond that is on the plate as the things we've committed ourselves to. So unless there's a bigger board list, I'm good with the elves.
Same. It's been on the mountain for a while.
All right. Sounds like there's some around around. Is that good with Tiny?
Whatever they want to do is fine with me.
Okay. Very cool. So we'll kind of have that there. And the elf thing is likely to take... So that would take up a whole downtime thing again. Figuring the elves out. So put there.
Actually, I have another idea that we could do about the silvered bolts, though, you guys. If we are doing,
buy them,
huh?
we could just buy them out.
Yes, actually, that was the thing, because we're going to be going to do like this thing with the elves, and we know that there's a lot of mysterious issues out there, and we could really kind of just like phrase it as we might need these.
I would be happy to. I would even put forth the funds to buying all of them.
Right. Cool. We'll know that as an option. With that, then, we will end for tonight, and we'll come back to our Valican saga next week.